Alright, so this was the first project I ever made in Unreal Engine, so I'm going to explain a few things really quick and then we'll get to the good stuff and you'll kind of get an overview of what's going on with the project. So, this was inspired by one of the Quixel Bridge texture packages. It just looked like the basement from Texas Chainsaw, and I just kind of inspired me to do that. And I also needed to make a character to see if it would work to begin with. So I made this girl in Daz to kind of represent Jessica Biel from the movie, just kind of the same look and like outfit and stuff, and it didn't look great. It looks kind of cartoony. This is before I understood anything about materials and textures and how to do things properly. So I ended up uploading this other model, which is a lot more grittier and dirty and more appropriate for some of the levels. Ironically, her name is Jessica as well from a different video game. You know, we can just switch right over to her and kind of show you how this works. And she's set up a lot better with the camera and stuff. Everything's not perfect with the textures, but like I said, she'll look more grittier and appropriate with the other characters that I got going in the game. You can just kind of see how I've set up her running and stuff. It looks pretty good. Good enough. Like I said, I'm not gonna make everything too perfect, but so much better than the other girl, right? Yeah. So if you've seen the movie, you know it's obviously got Leatherface and then kind of the old man sitting outside who's like has the missing legs and the wheelchair, and we'll just have them kind of chase me around. I'll show you kind of what it looks like here. Alright, so all I've done is just activate a little nav mesh area so they can move around here, and I don't know how loud his chainsaw is going to be, so I just won't say anything when I start like simulating this. And you'll notice that he's kind of like really old school. Like I said, I didn't know what I was doing, so he won't have animations, but Leatherface here is more legit, so you'll see what I mean. So let's just start this up. You'll just see how I have him set up basically. And then this guy will just kind of wheel his way slowly to me. Or maybe he'll activate Leatherface like in the movie. He'll like call upon him or something if he spots us. That's just how I have them set up for now. Maybe I'll have like when he catches her like a death animation, he'll cut into her head, cut it off, cut into her body, whatever. Maybe something similar to the movie. But after I had all this set up, then I just started with the levels. So let me just jump into them. I'll show you what I got going on. So the basement and the outside of the house here were the first levels that I started working on when I actually started the project here. And you can just kind of see I went nuts with a lot of the Megascan stuff, and this is before I knew how much space it would take up and how badly everything would run. But walking up here, you can just kind of see what I'm going for. And this little area is, I'll actually display the screenshot that this is inspired from, and I just try to do my best to replicate the area with the positioning of the rocks and the trees and some of the grass, stuff like that. But this is from the movie when they're first walking up to the sheriff. They come back here 2 times, I think. Once for her boyfriend as well. You just kind of see it's like a creepy house. I don't have the backyard or anything done. It's just this little area that's detailed, you know. There's no forest out in the distance or anything like that. The old man is just a static model. He's not the the one that chases me or anything. You just get a good view of it. You can just see all the like grit and nasty detail. I just built this from a lot of the screenshots, so a lot of the positioning of the bushes and like the chairs and stuff is all pretty precise. Just run over the side and him. What's up, buddy? And just trying to build like the whole layout of the land from different screenshots from different part of the movie. And like I said, not everything's done. I don't know how far I'll go with actually making the whole map or like a actual mode or anything. I can just jump right in here and we'll just take a nice look at the house. Just like the whole area. It's pretty creepy, right? So I did a pretty good job there, and I'll just drag Jess over here and we'll go inside. And maybe I'll switch some of the settings here. Or I'll go in here with the epic settings on first. That way you get a nice dark view of everything. It's kind of like a creepy, like more creepy view. But when I walk in here, I'll set it to a lower setting. That way you can just see more of the detail. But I just have this hallway set up kind of. The layout of the house is still relative to like how the movie is. Just not all the rooms and everything. But I've put together some of these other assets like the swinging pig head on the chain with the guts and stuff. And like I said, this is more just like a cutscene area, and as opposed to like a full area you can run around like Dead by Daylight or something. But we'll turn the settings down here, and we'll just take a stroll in here. That way we can see more of the detail this way. And the doors don't open or anything, and just have walk through. Like I said, this is just set up and kind of like as just a detailed cutscene as opposed to a full area to run around. But like the layout is still the same. Bathroom to the left, basement to the... Shit! And we can just take a nice stroll down to the basement really quick. Alright, so let's take a nice little stroll down here. Things will still look pretty good, but just a slight downgrade. So like I said, maybe some of these lockers I thought you could just hide in, and it would just block Leatherface's pawn sensing, and he wouldn't see you walk past you, you know, whatever. You just jump out of here, doink. Just a lot of like little places to hide behind and like run around. It's just all I wanted. I just ended up adding way too many objects, I think, and it's just slowing crap down. But yeah, I'd have a lot of lockers over the place, little objects where maybe you could just interact with and just knock over, and he would know like where you are. It would just give a noise notification or something like that. Same with some of the pallets. Like I just set up so you can like run and maybe like hide or just block in his way or something like that, you know. So a lot of fleshed out ideas, but I just don't know if I would just like take the time and actually do all this anymore. Especially since it's getting so like choppy, and I just added way too many things. You just see a lot of like broken TVs and crap. Old wheelchairs. So when I first started trying to figure out like cloth simulation and how to do some of that stuff, it works, just I end up walking through it is all. Like I said, maybe this would be a little tunnel you'd end up escaping through with somebody, but this back room is just him working with the static model. He's not going to chase me or anything. And that was it. Just another area to like maybe run around or hide in. And so for like the full concept of this, it would just be like a lot of kind of Dead by Daylight things, or saving your friends, trying to sneak them out of the house, like, and just not getting caught by Leatherface and basically getting butchered up. Sneaking behind stuff. I'll probably run really shitty when I do that, but you get the idea. It would just be like cool kind of cinematic views and like cool atmospheric stuff going on in the background. Just have a cool, even if it's just a small little map like this, just a cool little concept of just trying to get your friends out with still just the death animations play out here. Hopefully it works good. It's not great. It's kind of weird, but it's pretty funny and cool. There's some glitchy animations parts. It was hard to get all this down. I was gonna do a lot of Blender stuff, but it just ended up being a little too complicated and like. So this is where we'll leave things off here at this last little part I want to do. Remember this one being different and fucked up for some reason, so I wanted to load it and do it in this level. And then we'll do like a nice trailer after this. Okay, I don't know why the camera did that, but it's a little weird. Kinda cool.